From NFL superstars to financial disasters, some athletes have gone from riches to rags in shocking fashion. Lavish lifestyles, bad investments, and poor decisions left them with nothing. Get ready for a wild ride through the costly mistakes that turned million-dollar careers into cautionary tales. At number 1, the fall of Andre Rison, from NFL superstar to bankruptcy. Wide receiver Andre Rison was drafted in the first round in 1989 and played for 7 teams throughout his 12-year NFL career, with most of his time spent in Atlanta. A Super Bowl champion with the Green Bay Packers, Rison earned a Pro Bowl spot 5 times and was named All-Pro once. But despite earning more than $19 million on the field, his financial future would take a drastic turn. By 2007, Rison declared bankruptcy. Can you believe that? Child support was the breaking point, but it wasn't the only culprit. Rison fell victim to the twin monsters that have ruined the finances of so many athletes: excessive indulgence and a need to flaunt wealth. In a 2012 ESPN documentary, Rison revealed how he blew at least $1 million on jewelry alone. Oh my God! And that's just the beginning. He spent untold sums on luxury cars, trying to keep up with his teammates in an ongoing contest of one-upsmanship. His spending spree extended to high-end nightclubs, where he routinely carried tens of thousands of dollars in cash, fueling the party lifestyle. And then came the paternity suits, adding even more financial strain. What led him to make these choices, and could he have avoided this fate? Next up, Clinton Portis, a running back who lost millions to bad investments. Clinton Portis, the powerful running back who starred for Denver and Washington, had an NFL career to be proud of. Nearly 6,000 yards in his first 4 seasons, 75 total touchdowns, and 2 Pro Bowls later, Portis had earned more than $43 million. But his financial story took a shocking turn. Portis, like many athletes, made the fatal mistake of trusting the wrong people. His financial downfall began with 2 investment advisors, Jeff Rubin and his associates, who were registered with the NFL Players Association but had their own shady dealings. Portis lost $3.1 million after they convinced him to invest in an Alabama casino that ultimately went bust. But the losses didn't stop there. Portis' money continued to slip away into poor investments, IRS debts, and financial obligations to multiple women and casinos. He even owed money to his own mother. What the fuck? What went wrong in Portis' financial journey? Could he have avoided this fate? The answers highlight the dangerous consequences of trusting the wrong people with your fortune. And then at number 3, Vince Young, the fall of a rising star. Vince Young's career had all the hallmarks of a rising NFL star. Drafted in the first round of the 2006 NFL Draft, the quarterback was quickly recognized for his impressive talent, earning 2 Pro Bowl selections in just 6 seasons. But despite a promising career, including a $25 million contract, Young's financial story would take a dramatic turn. How did this once promising athlete, who earned more than $35 million in his NFL career, end up filing for bankruptcy just a few years later? In 2014, Vince Young filed for bankruptcy with a staggering list of debts totaling up to $10 million. But how did someone who had signed a massive contract extension in 2006 end up with virtually no assets to show for it? The answer lies in a mix of reckless spending, poor financial decisions, and a series of mismanaged trust. Young's financial downfall echoes a familiar tale: uncontrollable spending, poor investments, and a trust placed in the wrong people. He bought cars and luxury items for friends and family, footed extravagant dinner bills, including one jaw-dropping $15,000 tab, and lived a lifestyle that burned through his fortune at lightning speed. Oh my God! And in one bizarre instance, bought every seat on a flight just so he could have the plane to himself. Add that to his decision to trust an unqualified uncle with his finances, and the pieces begin to fall into place. Despite his massive earnings, Young's reckless choices led him to a point where his assets were worth little more than $500,000, far less than the millions he had once earned. How could he go from the height of success to financial ruin so quickly? Could better financial advice have saved him, or was it simply a case of too much too soon? Then at number 4, Rocket Ismail, a career grounded by costly mistakes. Raghib Rocket Ismail's decision to forego the NFL and join the CFL in 1991 sent shockwaves through the sports world. That's crazy! As a star wide receiver at Notre Dame, he was set to be the top pick in the NFL draft. Instead, Ismail signed a record-breaking $18.2 million four-year contract with the Toronto Argonauts, the largest deal in football at the time. After 2 years in Canada, he made the jump to the NFL, where he played a decade, earning nearly $20 million throughout his career. But despite this financial success, Ismail's story wasn't all about touchdowns and accolades. What went wrong? While Rocket never faced bankruptcy like many others, his financial decisions still left a significant dent in his wealth. What happened to his millions? Like so many athletes, he fell victim to the trap of blind investments. The first misstep came in 1991, the same year he was drafted. Ismail invested $300,000 in a Hard Rock Cafe knockoff called the Rock and Roll Cafe. Not only did he never see a return on this investment, but he also never discovered what happened to the restaurant. Unfortunately, that was just the beginning. He poured money into a series of ill-fated ventures: a religious-themed movie, a failed music label, an emerging beauty treatment, a phone card dispenser business, and even a chain of custom calligraphy shops. How could someone with so much potential make so many risky choices? What led to these investments, and what could he have done differently? Despite his career on the field, Ismail's financial story is a reminder that the game isn't over when the season ends. Next up at number 5, Dermontti Dawson, a Hall of Fame career crushed by financial missteps. Dermontti Dawson, the legendary Pittsburgh Steeler who played from 1988 to 2000, is a true icon of the NFL. A 6-time All-Pro and 7-time Pro Bowler, Dawson's career was as solid as his blocking. He started 181 of his 184 games and was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2012. Despite his on-field success, Dawson's financial story took a devastating turn after he retired. How could a player with such a remarkable career face such a catastrophic fall? Dawson's downfall started with his investments, specifically his overwhelming focus on real estate. An expert quoted in Sports Illustrated highlighted over-allocation in real estate as one of the most common reasons athletes go broke post-career. Dawson fell victim to this mistake, investing millions in properties with multiple partners, but without holding controlling interest. When the 2008 housing market crash hit, Dawson's investments crumbled. What the fuck? Unable to recover from the financial strain, he faced several legal judgments, including one for $3.4 million and another for $1.7 million. By 2010, Dawson was forced to file for bankruptcy, revealing debts totaling nearly $70 million, while his assets were valued at just $1.42 million. What went wrong? Was Dawson's blind trust in partners the key factor? Or was the housing market crash the tipping point? And what could other athletes learn from his tragic story? At number 6, from Super Bowls to financial ruin, Chris McAllister's unexpected fall. Chris McAllister, the electrifying defensive back who spent most of his 11-year NFL career with the Ravens, had it all. 2 Super Bowl titles, 3 Pro Bowls, and an All-Pro selection. With a reputation as one of the league's most feared players, McAllister was living the high life. His career earnings were impressive, including a hefty $55 million contract signed in 2004. But how did it all go wrong? In 2011, a shocking revelation turned McAllister's once glamorous life upside down. TMZ uncovered court records showing that McAllister had been unemployed since 2009 and was living with his parents, relying on them for basic living expenses. From Super Bowl champion to financial ruin, McAllister's situation was one of the greatest embarrassments any millionaire athlete could face. But here's the twist. Despite his massive earnings, it's unclear where all of McAllister's money went. The court records, which came from a child support hearing, revealed that McAllister was struggling to meet his $11,000 a month paternity obligations. Was it reckless spending, poor financial management, or something else? How did the man who once commanded millions end up living in such dire straits? The mystery of McAllister's financial collapse leaves many questions unanswered, and his story serves as a cautionary tale for athletes who rise to the top, only to see it all slip away. What could McAllister have done differently to avoid this fate? Finally, from Pro Bowls to financial crisis, the fall of Deuce McAllister. Deuce McAllister, a two-time Pro Bowler and the face of the New Orleans Saints, dominated the NFL for 8 thrilling seasons. Known for his explosive plays and unwavering loyalty to the Saints, McAllister racked up an impressive 6,096 rushing yards and 49 touchdowns by the time he retired in 2008. In 2005, he signed an eye-popping $50.1 million deal, cementing his status as one of the league's highest-paid running backs. But what happened after the glory days on the field? Despite earning millions, McAllister's financial empire crumbled in a way few could have imagined. A failed business venture and mounting debt dragged him into a nightmare that saw his once bright financial future vanish. How did it all go so wrong for a player beloved by fans and teammates alike? Stick around to uncover the costly decisions that led to his downfall. In 2011, a shocking turn of events saw McAllister's home auctioned off for $880,000, a far cry from its value, as he owed more than $1.8 million on the property. This auction, driven by a legal battle with his lender, was just the tip of the iceberg. The trouble began in 2009 when McAllister defaulted on loans after a Nissan dealership he invested in went under. This financial misstep forced him into bankruptcy. But the true final blow came after the Saints released him. Just 1 month later, McAllister learned that Nissan's financing arm was demanding a staggering $7 million. Money that he would have earned from the Saints had he not been cut. That's crazy, right? So, what led to this downfall? Reckless investments, a failed business venture, or simply bad timing? McAllister's story is a sobering reminder of how quickly a financial empire can crumble, even for athletes with multi-million-dollar contracts. Could his financial fate have been different? What would have happened if he hadn't made those investments? The mystery surrounding McAllister's lost millions raises more questions than answers. These athletes had it all, until it all slipped away. Bad decisions, reckless spending, and poor investments led to their downfall. Want more shocking stories? Subscribe now and don't miss out.